You probably didn't expect American politics to be disrupted by something as simple as a hoodie, but here we are, and if you're not paying attention to what John Fetterman is wearing, you're missing a cultural earthquake shaking the foundation of the Senate itself. His decision to step into political spaces not with a suit and tie, but with a Carhartt hoodie and gym shorts, has ignited conversations far beyond Pennsylvania and reached the core of how the public views authenticity, leadership, and power in America. Gone are the days when starched collars and polished shoes were non-negotiables in politics. Fetterman has cracked that code wide open. He's not just wearing clothes, he's making a statement, broadcasting every time he steps into the public eye that the traditional dress codes of government are out of touch with modern America. People see a man in a hoodie, and instead of questioning his competence, they feel connected. Because that's how they dress, that's how they live, and that's who they want representing them. He's building bridges with a generation tired of elitist facades, and whether you agree with his politics or not, there's no denying that Fetterman is changing what leadership looks like in the 21st century. The Senate floor, historically filled with buttoned-up suits, now echoes with the quiet rebellion of someone who dares to show up as himself. And make no mistake, this isn't accidental. Fetterman knows the symbolism behind his wardrobe, and he's using it as a tool more powerful than most campaign slogans. His casual dress has become a cultural mirror, reflecting back the frustrations of everyday Americans who feel unrepresented by polished politicians reading from teleprompters. When he speaks in that gruff voice, with tattoos exposed and no tie in sight, it's not just refreshing, it's revolutionary. And yet, the backlash is real. Critics argue that he's disrespecting the institution, eroding the dignity of political office, lowering the bar. But that's exactly the point. Fetterman isn't asking for permission, he's redefining the standard. Every camera flash that captures him walking into Congress in his signature hoodie adds another frame to the visual language of disruption. And in a time when politics feels increasingly disconnected from the people it claims to serve, Fetterman's aesthetic becomes a kind of rebellion. Against performative professionalism, against the polished optics that often conceal broken systems. His look screams, "I'm here to work, not to impress." For millions of voters, that's not sloppy, it's honest. It's bold. It's brave. And the impact? It's viral. Social media has exploded with both memes and admiration, as his hoodie becomes as iconic as any campaign logo. Gen Z voters see someone who reflects their values, their struggle, and their voice. He doesn't talk down, he talks real. And by staying visually true to himself, he's earning a kind of trust that most politicians spend decades trying to fake. This is more than style, it's strategy. In an age where visuals dominate the political narrative, John Fetterman has turned what he wears into a weapon for cultural influence, cutting through the noise in a way no press release ever could. Imagine tuning into a Senate session, scanning a sea of navy suits, and landing on one man in a hoodie. That image alone tells you everything about who's challenging the status quo. And while other politicians cling to tradition to maintain control, Fetterman's approach does the opposite. It relinquishes control to the people. He invites them in, tells them without words, "I'm not better than you, I am you." And for those who felt unseen in American politics, that's powerful. That's change. And it's threatening to those who've long equated formal wear with credibility. What's astonishing is how something so small, so superficial, can ripple into a nationwide debate on class, accessibility, and representation. Because in America, fashion isn't just fashion, it's a language of power. And Fetterman is fluently rewriting the dictionary. He's giving people permission to demand authenticity from their leaders, to expect relatability over rigid decorum. His hoodie is now a symbol, not of laziness, but of radical accessibility. It challenges the notion that you have to look a certain way to lead a certain way. And that's why this matters, not just for now, but for the future. Kids watching him today might realize tomorrow that they don't need to change themselves to have a voice in this system. Fetterman's breaking open doors that were once closed to anyone not willing to play the part. And that's what makes this political fashion statement so powerful. It's not about comfort, it's about shaking the ceiling. His clothing choices are already influencing younger candidates and activists who feel empowered to show up as they are. The ripple effect is real, and it's only growing. His rise is proving that voters are no longer impressed by empty suits, They crave substance, and Fetterman delivers that in every rough-edged word and every unapologetic outfit. It's reshaping campaign strategy, forcing consultants and candidates alike to reconsider how they present themselves. And at the core of this movement is an unspoken truth. People are exhausted by the performance. They're drawn to realness, even when it's messy, even when it's controversial. Because at least it's real. And John Fetterman, whether he planned it or not, has become the face of that demand for realness. So when history looks back on this era, it may not be the suits that define it, it might just be the hoodie. And if you think this is just about clothes, you're missing the bigger story. This is a cultural tipping point, and if you don't understand what's happening, you're already behind. Because the next time someone shows up to the Senate in sneakers and a hoodie, it won't be rebellion, it'll be normal. And that's the revolution Fetterman started, quietly, confidently, one hoodie at a time.